Okay, brought you out here because this is still wet and I don't want to touch it, but I just want to show you what it's looking like. This is about 3 coats, maybe 4 of that polyurethane. Now when it dries, you'll see there are little areas that, like with the wood grain there, if you can see it, and I will use that filler I've got in that. But this is a cliffhanger, because I've got to wait for this to dry. I want to put it out there, and I'll put the video out. So that won't be till the next video. I will continue to do these and bring them out for you guys. I think there seems to be some interest. Hopefully you find it enjoyable. Now get out in the garage and do your own shit. Okay, first on this video, before I go any further, I want to give a shout out to a gentleman called Kevin Baker. Kevin obviously is knowledgeable on these guns. I am not, and I mentioned that previously. And I talked about using the ammunition I just bought, which is, sorry, got to do it again, 7.62 times 54R. I should have got 51R or 51, 7.62 51, because this apparently is for a Russian type rifle. So my mistake, I picked up the wrong thing. Kevin, thank you. I tried, after seeing Kevin's comment, to fit a shell in, and let me show you. Let's try that again, shall we? And look, you see, it doesn't go in. It is not correct, and should I have stupidly pushed it in, I guess it might have fired, but then I wouldn't have got that out, would I? And I certainly wouldn't have been able to eject it. So don't make the mistake I made. As I said, I am new to this particular rifle. So I now have a box of shells I can't use. I'll go back to the place where I bought them, purely because I did ask them, these okay for a 308, and the person did say yes. But they do have a policy of no, you can't return ammo. So I will return the ammo, and they can give it to someone for all I care. I don't care. I have no use for it. It's pointless in me having it. I will now go and purchase the correct ammunition. And again, thank you, Kevin, for your advice. Much appreciated. As I said, I did try it in here and it was obvious there was something wrong. And with a gun, you don't fuck around. You do it precise. So now my baby is progressing slowly. As you can see, you know, I've still got this piece off. I have just varnished it again. I got to clean this up, and then I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this piece off and give that a jolly good clean. So that's going to be the next segment that you will see. At some point I need to take this off, of course. At the moment I have no clue how it comes off, but I'm sure once I get this piece off that will come to light, and once I get this off then I can get that off. But I may have to stain that. This is very dark wood. I don't know what wood it is, and if anybody watching this does know what wood is used on these guns, I would really love to know, so that I can get the correct stain for this piece here. I mean, I can guess at it, but it's always better to know what you're doing, isn't it? All right, I don't think I'm going to put this video out yet because the No, you're going to get this in a little while. I want to try and finish this top piece, this piece that goes here, to the level that I want it. And then we will progress to the next pieces. We will see, won't we? All right, again, hope you're enjoying the videos. If not, oh dear, oh my, how sad. If you are, great, give it a thumbs up, and tell your friends to watch it if they're like you and me, gun people. As you can tell from my accent, I am an Englishman in America, not like Sting says, Englishman in New York. I'm just in America, I'm in Arizona, and I can own one of these. I can own all sorts of guns. Thankfully, what a sensible country I live in. Okay, that's it for the moment. Let's move on to the next segment, which will be showing you this piece finished and this piece being removed. Okay, this has dried overnight, and although you probably can't see it, there are the grain lines are showing up. So I'm using 1000 grit just to take the edge off and give the seal and the filler something to key onto. This will take a few moments, so if you find it boring, you just better fast forward, hadn't you? And I could use a tougher grade, but I want to see how this goes. If I decide at the end of this it's not really got it how I want it, then I will use a higher grade, such as a 500, something like that. Obviously what you're going for is a matte finish, but remembering, these areas here, they will not become matte. As I said, I'm not going to try and get them out. I'll just give it that little bit of old look, even though it's going to be completely shiny. Well, that's the hope anyway. We'll see how it goes. As I said, not done this before. I've worked with wood, but certainly not a gun. That is one of the joys of living here in America. As one of my subscribers pointed out, the rules in England are so restrictive. Now there is a club in England, the Enfield club, and I'll put a link at in the video description so that you can go to them. Obviously they are in England. I'm not sure exactly where, but if you get onto their website, you'll be able to send them an email and chat to them and see how the laws are in England and how you can own a gun. I believe, and I don't know this for a fact because I don't know the laws of England, that you can own a gun, but it has to be kept at the shooting range. I'm not 100% sure of that, so you will need to check. I mean, it's great, the criminals can have guns because they don't care, but the normal, respecting, law-abiding citizens can't. Which is why I do like it here in America, because whilst the bad boy can have a gun, so can I. So at least I stand a chance of being able to shoot back at the bugger and kill him before he kills me. And should anyone come into my house, they will be greeted. And when I say come into my house, I mean, without my permission, bad boys, they will be greeted with my gun. And my gun, as I mentioned yesterday, is a 357 Magnum. And that baby holds 7 shells. So they will be getting all 7. Excuse me, got to get another pad. And I've decided to change. It's not getting it down as quick or as far as I would like. So I've got this. This is a piece of 180, but it's a worn piece of 180. We'll see how that goes. It's certainly taking a lot more off, which is what I want. Because the next stage is to do the filler. Well, I guess that's not quite true. The next stage is to wipe it and then do the filler. This process of sanding, filling, as I mentioned in the previous video, you do as many times as you want till you get the finish that you're satisfied with. I haven't yet decided what I'm going to be satisfied with, whether I want that glass-like finish or do I want something in between. And yes, I know, I'm Mr. Indecisive, what can I tell you? Now, really what you should use after doing this sanding is a tack cloth. But I got a feeling I don't have a tack cloth. I'll find out in a second when I look in my little box. But I got a feeling I ran out of tack cloths, but I wasn't concerned because I wasn't doing any more wood. I am now. Right, let's see if I got a tack cloth. I'm lucky, I do have a tack cloth. And these last a long time. Great for getting the dust off, as you can see. Just reminded me doing that when I was at school. Our woodwork teacher was Mr. Corbishley, and every time he was cutting a piece of wood, all you would hear was he's bound to be long gone by now, as that was when I was, how old was I? My teens, my very early teens, 13, 14, 15, and I'm way past that now. Okay, so let's see now how this goes. And now I'm about to reveal a secret, why I'm wearing a glove. Trying to fill this with a spatula, whatever you want to call it, is not going to be easy. I'm going to use my hand so that I can try and get it in there. Ooh. Yeah, and this is getting old, this stuff, which is a shame, but we will try. I think maybe the warmth of my hand is helping that. Okay, and let's do this up here. And of course, you all have to make your own methods and do it your own way. Don't necessarily think what I'm doing is perfect. I don't. It's just what works for me. Okay. Let me just make sure I smooth that out as best I can with the fingers. Of course, if you've got a fresh pot of this, it won't be as difficult. Right, now we have to let that set. And that will take as long as it takes. get myself another aqua coat. Wood grain filler clear. All right, there you go. You can see now that I've filled it. I will be sanding it again afterwards. But then I probably will be using a much finer sandpaper. But we will see. Don't count your chickens. All right, going to stop it there. This particular video, not that you'll notice, because I'll come back and do some more. Yeah, I think we're going to have 2 or 3 goes at filling. So it's fill, sand, fill, sand, fill, sand, ba ba ba. As I said, until you get the finish you want. Back in a moment. Okay, got a few more coats of lacquer on here, and because I'm an impatient prick, I dropped this onto this dust and look. But it doesn't matter because this isn't the final coat. If it was, I'd be really annoyed. A lot of the holes, grain, grooves are now filled. So the next process is to let this dry overnight, then sand it again, attach another coat of aqua clear or aqua coat clear, and wait for that to dry and then sand it again. As I did mention, this is a long-winded procrastination of a process, but depending on the finish you want, it's worth it. This gun, once I am finished, will live past my life, and hopefully somebody will enjoy it. Again, sorry about the crap there, my own stupidity. I was too impatient and wanted to finish this video as a very brief, short video, because in my previous video I made some what I consider errors regarding the bullets, and Kevin corrected me, thankfully, and I don't want anybody else to make those mistakes. So this is a very short video. Hope you don't mind. If you do, tough shit. We'll come back when I've sanded this. This will be the next video. So when I've sanded this, filled it, sanded, filled it, sanded, filled it, and when it is to the level that I want to accept, and then we will move on, as promised, to doing the other big ass piece of wood. Hope you don't mind the delay, but that's the way life goes.